As you would probably expect, the first two episodes of the new Doctor Who series, or if you're looking at it from a certain point of view, the first Doctor Who season, has had mixed results. It's had mixed reviews, and it's had mixed responses from people who have watched it. There are a lot of people who do like it. A lot of people have been very complimentary of the series, but there have been a few who have been less than complimentary. The BBC Doctor Who fans label new series woke and unwatchable as viewer ratings drop. Now, it is true to say that the first two episodes got quite a low rating, two of the lowest ratings in Doctor Who history. So that's not anything to be proud of. And of course, they do usually they've done what Disney does sometimes and release two episodes back to back to try and suck you in, and also to boost the viewing figures. But anyway, it doesn't look like it's worked. It looks like the viewing figures are very poor indeed, and that's not necessarily a surprise when you think about some of the things that they've been saying behind the scenes on the series. BBC fans have been left divided over the new series of Doctor Who, with some loyal viewers branding the show as woke and unwatchable. The 14th season of the long-running fantasy series returned to our screens this month, or season 1, depending on how you're spinning it. Due to get whereas the 15th Doctor alongside Ruby Sunday, played by Millie Gibson. Over the weekend there was a double bill as fans retreated 2 episodes ahead of the Eurovision Grand Final. But I have to say the Eurovision was probably more entertaining than the Doctor Who was. I mean, the first one, Space Babies, was actually, it wasn't too bad. Actually, it was a bit of a fun nod to the old Doctor Who episodes. However, I just feel that they tried to jam a little bit too much into the episode, in terms of trying to explain the whole of Doctor Who lore in the first 15 minutes, because obviously they're trying to reach a new audience. They're not trying to reach the audience that already exists. So they had to shove in as much of the Doctor Who lore into the first 15-20 minutes as they could, and they did some of that in the second episode as well. Fans were also introduced to new villains, including American drag artist Jinx Monsoon, who played the Maestro character in the second episode. There was also a number of cameos made by some familiar Strictly Come Dancing stars. Now, I actually didn't think Jinx Monsoon was bad. They certainly put in a very bold and bombastic performance, should we say, in some words, and they certainly chewed the scenery like a termite on a piece of wood. But I do think that I don't think, if you're looking at comparisons, I think they were probably a more villain-like and believable character than Ncuti Gatwa was. I mean, he tried to go from zany and comical and funny to serious. Didn't really work. I mean, I feel I've been critical of Jodie Whittaker's portrayal of Doctor Who, but of the Doctor, I should say. But I actually think some of her serious acting was better than Ncuti Gatwa's, and that's saying something. So, following its return, fans watched at home have reacted online to the new series. One person slammed after the cast and crew told the old Doctor Who fans to stop watching in favour of the modern audience. The current season 2's episode's premiere received a lowest overnight ratings in the show's history. R.I.P. Doctor Who. Second one said, wow, well, Doctor Who is totally unwatchable now. Maybe have a Doctor Who series again instead of a platform for gender politics and radical left-wing ideology. Go woke, go broke. That's a common thing that's going around at the moment. Third person said, Maestro was probably one of the worst things I've ever seen. No exaggeration. R.I.P. Doctor Who. Wasn't necessarily the worst villain ever, but certainly a little bit of overacting going on there. However, some fans were delighted. One person said, Maestro reminds of a DC Comics Silver Age villain, and I rather like it. So it was mixed reviews. Someone said, in a poor episode of Doctor Who, the best thing in it was Ncuti. He delivered a controlled, authentic and commanding performance despite a mess created by a badly executed villain. He is a really good actor and feels like the Doctor. Shout out to Gibson, who is also Ace. No, she's not Ace. Ace is a completely different character. Okay, sorry, I just had to get that one in. Third person said, just watched Doctor Who, and while Space Babies was just fine, I absolutely loved The Devil's Called, a ridiculously fabulous camp romp with one of the greatest ever performances by Jinx Monsoon. I think that's probably pushing it a little bit. The viewers came in overnight ratings of Doctor Who show a drop. The premiere on Saturday night consisted of only 2.6 million viewers and 2.4 for the second episode. Now, of course, that doesn't include people who watched on the iPlayer, so I'm sure that they will be trying to bump those figures up as well and trying to spin it into a better way than it was. But for me, it's just it's disappointing for me, and it's disappointing because I know that Russell T Davies can write much better stories than this. He really can, but they're just trying to shoehorn in lots of things and lots of lots of situations that they don't necessarily need to shoehorn in. I mean, with Space Babies, it was all about being, being a foster person, or being someone who was left behind and adopted and that kind of thing. That was part of it, and about all that kind of stuff. Russell T Davies is trying to cram in so many different kinds of cliche and so many different kinds of people and experiences and things like that, that he's basically just filling it with all of this and no real substance. I mean, I don't think that the episodes are that much better than what we got from Chris Chibnall, and that's saying something. So anyway, I think the next one is going to be Boom, which is going to be the one written by Stephen Moffat. So I think that's going to be a good episode. At least I'm hoping, fingers crossed, it's going to be a good episode. Let me know down in the comment section what you think about those first two episodes, and whether you agree with what people have said on here, that it was just a complete mess, or did you actually like it? I'd love to hear your thoughts down below.